Well, Company of Heroes 3. That was a surprise. After a cryptic and brief World War II themed stream on Relic's Twitch channel last night, the third entry in the acclaimed 15-year-old RTS series was revealed with a flashy trailer, a bunch of information, and, get this, a playable pre-alpha build. In this video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about the game, as well as my impressions of playing the current build and some hopes for the final game. Let's not waste any time and get right into what you need to know about Company of Heroes 3. Feel free to jump to this timecode here if you want to get straight to the gameplay impressions. Like its predecessors, COH3 is a World War II tactical real-time strategy game. To be frank, I was actually a little disappointed to hear that we're stuck in the Second World War. I was quietly hoping Relic would venture into a new time period, like World War I, or a Cold War conflict, but I guess Company of Heroes is as much of a tactical RTS series as it is a World War II one. Thankfully though, we are in a new theatre, this time venturing into Italy and North Africa, which, aside from the Pacific, is likely my preferred option in terms of where to take the series next. Relic states that it will also have the most factions at launch of any Company of Heroes game, which sounds great until you remember that both Company of Heroes 1 and 2 each only had 2 factions at launch. Personally, I'm hoping for at least 4. We know that the US, British and Wehrmacht are all confirmed, with the Italians also playing some sort of important role, though it's not yet clear whether they'll have their own faction or factions, say partisans for the Allies and military for the Axis, or if they will act as special or supplementary units to the other factions. There are some Indian troops in this demo as part of the British forces, so I'm leaning a little in thinking that the latter will be more likely. The single player has seen some major reworks from previous entries. It's looking similar to how Total War games are played out, featuring a huge map and a turn-based overworld game that transitions into real-time skirmishes as you make moves and capture territory and bases. Those skirmishes now feature a tactical pause system, far more advanced destruction mechanics, and a myriad of other advancements to established mechanics and systems. There seems to be a big focus on having the overworld map and real-time battles tightly linked together, with most things you can do in a real-time battle also being able to be done in the overworld. Though of course that doesn't matter if you're just playing a skirmish game. It only applies for the campaign. The game is set to launch next year, in 2022. But like I said earlier, there's a playable pre-alpha build available right now, and you can get it for the next couple of weeks. I've played it, so let's talk about it. Alrighty, wow, yeah, this is an alpha build alright. What's available here is limited, and while the scope is certainly large, this is very obviously still miles away from release. Upon starting, you've got the option of playing a single player skirmish mission or a small portion of the new campaign, complete with both the overworld map and skirmish battles. At the skirmish level, the core is mostly unchanged from earlier entries. It's still the Company of Heroes you know and love. There's a few new mechanics on display, like the new breach system for clearing up buildings, and much enhanced destruction, and of course quite a few new units, abilities, and upgrades. A lot of this is subject to change however, and I would say it will likely be quite different upon release. The campaign with its overworld and associated skirmishes will also likely change a lot, but ultimately it is what's most different here compared to previous games. Simply put, imagine Arden's assault from Company of Heroes 2 on a truckload of steroids. Or imagine it's Total War, except it's World War II. You get the idea. It's a turn-based affair where you control armies, manage different hubs on the map such as airfields and ports, complete objectives, and ultimately complete your final objective or wipe your enemy from the board. Units come in the form of larger companies or auxiliary individual detachments, and the former can be upgraded, reinforced, and managed to fill specific roles with unique abilities. Units can take actions across the map that range from healing and repairing allies, building defensive emplacements or minefields, disrupting enemy supply lines, and more. My favourite part, and the main core difference to how this differs to what's available in Total War right now, is how the overworld map and the skirmishes that take part in it work with each other. Almost everything that can be done in the latter can be done in the former, whether that's bombarding allies with artillery, detonating armoured divisions with some well-placed road mines, or slowing infantry with barbed wire. It all helps to tie everything together and make more of an interwoven experience, rather than feeling just like 2 games you're playing separately. There are a lot of mechanics on display here. To be honest, it's quite overwhelming, and it can be difficult to grasp them all with the current state of the game, especially when most of the UI is either clearly placeholder or is just straight up missing. There are a lot of things that I hope are on the list of things to add, such as ship combat, a day-night cycle, and hell, even 2-player co-op, if I'm dreaming. But what's here right now is certainly promising, It's a good start for what will eventually be an infinitely replayable and ever-evolving mode that we'll all be returning to for years to come. All that being said, however, don't be under any misconceptions. This is called a pre-alpha build, and Relic means it. It is not polished, and it is not a marketing tool. I do not recommend this as something you should be playing right now for fun. If you want to help in its development, then by all means, please do. That's the point of this whole thing. But otherwise, stay away for the time being and wait until release, or an actual polished demo. Even in the short time I've played today, I've experienced crashes, broken mechanics, and some awfully long freezes. You can also probably tell by this footage that it runs like arse, graphics are meh to be honest, and associated options are limited, plus it's quite buggy. What Relic have done with this release is give me hope that they will hit the nail on the head for the release of Company of Heroes 3. They seem to be working very closely with the community on this one to create the best game it can be, and I for one am excited to see what they end up with on release. Just take your time guys, take as long as you need. We do not need another Dawn of War 3 on our hands. Thank you for watching. I know this is a short video, but I wanted to get it out quickly for you guys. I've just locked in my script for the retrospective on Command & Conquer Renegade, which is fully in production as we speak, and I do hope to have that out soon to you all. Appreciate you watching, and of course all you legends supporting me via YouTube memberships and Patreon. Links in the description if you want to help me do what I do here. Thanks again, and I will see you all next time.